We are Book Club, and I am thrilled to be back here with you. And we have received so many messages from everyone here in this group who not only said they were definitely missing the book club, and when we announced the return of the book club, we've received such an incredible feedback. So I'm really happy and excited to be back here with you guys. And for those of you who have been with us for a while, please do say hello in the chat box. Let us know where you are streaming from, where you are right now, because as we know, this community is very international, and it will be great to hear from each and one of you. For those of you who are brand new, I'll just give you a little bit of feedback how we do our book club and what's involving. So on a weekly basis, we go live at 7 p.m. UK time, and we study one of the most motivational and transitional books. So it's all about mindset. It's all about creating and helping you to shift your mindset, which is the way you think and the way you do things in your life, personal and professional, because everything you have as a result in your life right now, when it comes to money, the level of happiness, the level of life fulfillment, your health, satisfaction from life, appreciation, everything comes from the way you think. And this is something what we call paradigms. So for those of you who have studied this topic for a while, you will know that paradigm is a multitude of habits. And the results we achieve in our life are not results that just happen by accident. Everything happens by what we have programmed in our mind, especially subconscious mind. So the topic is truly incredible. For those of you who have known me for a while, you know that I've been teaching this topic for nearly 7 years. And the more I study this topic myself, the more I love it. There is almost no end to this information, because the more we study, the more our mindset, so our awareness expands. And the more your awareness expands, the more you'll see yourself from a very different perspective. Some of you maybe have gone through life in the past, so you can bring those experiences where just with the slight shift of your perception about certain topic, the results in that area changed for you. So in the end, it's not really about what's outside of you. It's not about the people or blaming the people around you or blaming certain circumstances. It's really all about understanding that you create those results in your life. And sometimes it might be a very harsh truth. Sometimes we might live in a denial, saying, well, no, I'm not creating this. How would I create this negativity in my life? I'm a positive person. But what we have to understand, a lot of things might happen in our life when we're not aware of it. And all of this happens by the laws of nature, by the laws that govern this universe. And you are a huge part of this universe. We are all connected. Therefore, everything that you create and everything that you do on a daily basis is also connected with your mindset. So our book club is not just any book club. It's a very special session that has been created for you to help you become more of who you were meant to be, to help you to really recognize that greatness within yourself and expand your awareness and really understand what creates the results in your life. Because the moment when you do, the moment when you really fall in love with yourself, and the moment when you study yourself or start studying yourself, this is where magic happens in your life. This is where you will really see that everything happens by design, not by accident. And the quicker you see it, the more you can design your life the way you truly want to. So that's why it's so important to be a part of this book club, to participate, to ask questions, to make comments, to share with your experience, because your voice matters. If not you, we wouldn't be here. So this is really created for you. And this group wouldn't be here without each and one of you. So it's my greatest pleasure to be back here with you guys. I've missed this community in a huge way. And I'm very happy to announce that today we're going to study a very interesting book. It's called The Process of Realisation by Ivan Antic. And this is the book I've come across by accident, I would say. However, I know that accidents don't happen in life. If you are searching for something, that something always shows up. And I was searching for a different type of book rather than the ones that we already know and the ones that we studied in the past. And this book showed up. And when I started reading it, I really enjoyed every single word in this book. So today we're going to talk about the introduction in this book and the first 3 chapters. So we're going to spend about 3 sessions on this book. For those of you who don't have a copy, obviously you can get it. We will still study for the next few weeks, so you have plenty of time. This is the copy that I have. It's a very thin book, yet, as you may remember, if you've been with us for a while, it's not really about reading the book as fast as you can, but it's about studying it. What I mean by studying is when you read a statement or a paragraph and then you really pause and you think about it. You think about it, what you've just read, and you think about it, how this information relates into your life, how this information can help you to impact your life and create better results. Because in the end, it's really not about just reading a book, gathering that knowledge, and thinking that you now know it all. Because as you may remember from our past workshops and past book clubs, that gathering knowledge is not something that will help you to change your life instantly. It's all about what you do. And the doing part is in your subconscious mind. So your subconscious beliefs and your subconscious habits are responsible for what you actually do on a daily basis. So it's so important to remember that the information that we gather through studying or through reading, it all goes into our conscious mind. And your conscious mind is only 4% of your mind. But many people find themselves that they know so much, they read so many books, yet they don't really do the things that they know how to do. So perhaps they operate with certain habits that they know it's not serving them for the greater good. They know that those habits are not going to take them towards that goal. Yet again, they say I know what to do, but somehow I'm not doing it. I procrastinate. I find everything else to do instead of the things I know how to. So this could be very confusing. And if that happens to you, it is because everything you know literally resides in your conscious mind, and your conscious mind, being your educational mind, is not responsible for your action. Your action almost exclusively is controlled by your subconscious mind, which is your emotional mind. So this is just a quick introduction and perhaps a revision for those of you who have studied this topic for a while. So now this book, very different to the ones we've studied before, yet extremely powerful. This topic talks about something that I would say, from my experience and the people I've studied with, is the most important topic to understand. And this is something that Tesla used to say in the past. And I love Tesla for what he's achieved, what he's done, and for what he's showed us to understand. And he used to say that if you would like to understand the universe and the laws that operate this universe, and you, because you are a huge part of this universe, you need to think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. So, here in this book, The Process of Realization by Ivan Antek, the introduction starts from really letting you know that everything in nature has a perfect flow. The energy that controls or governs this nature is a perfect energy. There's no mistakes. And that energy goes through each and one of you. So that energy flows through the crown of your head. And that energy is beautiful, intelligent, powerful energy. But that energy is not positive, not negative. That energy just is. And that energy knows exactly how to make you happy, healthy, wealthy, and everything that you truly desire. That has that natural flow. It knows what it's supposed to do to keep your body healthy and strong and your life in a most abundant reality. However, what happens is we are in the way of this inner energy. We are blocking the natural flow of this energy, and we do it unconsciously. And we do it because of our limiting belief system, limiting habits, and limiting self image. So, really, that limiting paradigm that we've been programmed with nearly from the moment of being conceived. So, what we have to understand is that unless we learn how to unblock this natural flow of energy, and unless we understand what is the highest level of creation, we will be stuck in that word of creating same and more of the same. What's really important that the author talks about is that you are a part of this universe and we are all connected. And as he says, in the totality of nature, there's no boundaries. Nothing is inward or outward about it. And therefore, neither in your life, the events in your life, successes and failures, all of this creates the wholeness. So that's why the failures are as important in your life as your successes. And what we were raised to believe is that if I'm failing in life, then I'm not good enough. So through our educational system, we were programmed to believe that if I'm not doing something right first time or second time, it means I'm not good enough. It means that I don't have what it takes to make it successful. However, as a part of the process that nature has created, and you are a huge part of this, what this book talks about is that those successes and those failures are very needed for you to really learn about yourself, because if you didn't fail, you wouldn't find the right way to succeed. So only through the understanding of what is failure, and only through understanding that failure is a huge part of your success, you can literally be spontaneous in life and go after what you truly desire, rather than letting that paradigm to control your moves, thinking, I don't have enough of whatever that is, money, time, knowledge. Maybe you even think that you're not smart enough or not ready. And all of these paradigms, those limiting beliefs, thinking that I have to have X amount of money to start something. I have to have X amount of time to start something. I have to be smart enough and I have to have this knowledge. All of this is literally stopping 99% of people from really taking that first step, because your intuition is telling you what to do. You almost feel it in the bottom of your heart. What is that you truly desire? Because that is a huge part of you, that growth, wanting more, growing, exploring more, and experiencing more is a huge part of who you really are, because you are a spirit and you are a source of energy. And that spiritual part within you is telling you that there is something more out there for you. You know it, you feel it. But the moment when we start thinking and analyzing our next move, the paradigm hits in straight away. The moment when someone thinks about making the first step towards their dream, the business, or maybe taking the business to the next level, or maybe changing their lifestyle, the moment when you're about to make that step, the paradigm kicks in and says, no, you don't, you're not ready. You don't have enough money, you don't have enough time, you can't do this. And all of these limiting beliefs are actually stopping you from moving forward. Nature loves to be spontaneous, so should you. That impulse, that thought appeared in your mind for a reason. Just because you have that thought that you want something or you want more is because you are more than capable and able to achieve it. That thought is the first step for you to grow. So it's so important to understand that unless and until you get out of your own way, you will not be progressing as fast as you could have otherwise. What we also grew up to believe is that hard work is absolutely necessary for us to be successful in terms of money, in terms of happiness, perhaps fulfillment. Many of us believe that without hard work, there is no success. Many of us almost think that if I'm not going to work it hard, I don't deserve that success. And that's not true. Because as the author says, there are many levels of working towards your goal. And hard physical labor is the lowest of those levels. So if you just depend on that hard work, do it, either it's at work or it's at your business or anything you do. If you just are this doer, you are actually using a lot of energy on a very low level. And even though you work hard, it doesn't mean that you're going to achieve your desires, because you're just using that lowest level. So what you can do to raise up is to use your intellect. So your intellect is the higher level of doing things, of achieving things towards your goal. And people study, people get educated because of the intellect. So you use that intellect, you can speed up your success, or at least your journey towards that success. However, even on that level, even though the intellectual way of doing things is higher than the physical, even on that level, we have lots of limitations that tell us what to do or not to do when it comes to our big goals or visions. So again, even though I may be very well educated and a very well read person, I also may have so many limiting and self-imposed limitations from really expanding, going faster with less effort. So that one level that's higher than the physical and intellectual level is the level that will literally help you to break free. This is the level that will literally change everything in your life. If you start to operate on that highest level, you will become happier in your life. You will find that reward in your life. You will start thinking from a very different perspective. You will be more effective and more productive with less effort. And this is what most of us desire, right? We don't want to just be working hard, because for those of you who've been there, or maybe you are there right now, you know that that hard work has a consequence. And if you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, working harder, what happens is that leads you to exhaustion. So in long term, that hard physical work, it doesn't work. It's the same with intellectual work. If you just depend on that intellect, on the studies that you gain from the books, again, that also can take you where you want to be faster, or towards where you want to be faster. However, there's also a limitation with the beliefs of what you cannot do. So the highest level, who would like to make a guess, or perhaps some of you know, what is the highest level of doing things? What do we have to do? How do we have to operate to achieve what we truly want to achieve without that hard work, without the exhaustion, without really feeling overwhelmed? So I can see there's many of you logged on. So please let me know what you think before I reveal what the source of that higher level of operating is, because this is something that each and one of you should be aware of, and then aim to really become a master of that. So please let us know in the chat box. So I'm just going to wait for a few responses. And the highest level that we should operate with is the spiritual level. This is the level where you get connected with the higher intelligence, with the universal power, with God. This is where, when you really start operating from that level, with the use of your higher mental faculties, and for those of you who have been with us for a while, we know that we have 6 higher mental faculties. For those of you who have studied this topic for a while, I would encourage you to name them right now. 6 higher mental faculties. This is something that will help you to really see where you are when it comes to awareness. With the use of our higher mental faculties, this is where you can become more productive with less effort. This is where you get connected to the higher intelligence, to the universal power, to God, to get ideas of how to really achieve that desired goal of yours. And as the next chapter says, that the nature of reality is where we've had a period in our life in the 20th century where lots of discoveries helped us to understand through quantum physics. So quantum physics made a discovery that our material reality, so everything that you're surrounded with, so everything you've created in your life, physically, in a physical world, is a field of pure energy. And this is the most fascinating topic for me at the moment. Just as Tesla used to say, if you want to understand the universe and how the universe is governed, and yourself, how you are governed, you have to understand, or you have to study and think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. So everything that you are surrounded with right now is a field of pure energy. Everything that you truly desire, everything and anything that you truly desire. So for those of you who are watching us live, please let us know, what do you truly desire? I would love to hear from you guys. So please put in a chat box, what is that you truly desire? Is it a happier life? Is it more money? Is it a happier relationship? Is it perhaps the feel of fulfillment in your life? Maybe you're looking for your life purpose. Maybe still you haven't discovered one. So what is it you truly desire? Please let us know in the chat box. And this is where I can tailor this session a little bit according to your desires. You can see some answers coming up, so it's really good. So anything that you truly desire. So let's say some of you said more money, a beautiful home, beautiful relationships, different lifestyle. So everything that you truly desire is already here. This is a big one. Everything you truly desire, the lifestyle, the house, the money, so the income, the time. Some of you might say, I want more time, even though we have 24 hours in a day. Everyone has 24 hours in a day, but you can create more time if you change your habits, and you can do it pretty much straight away. This is just the way we think. So actually creating more time, free time in your life is possible very quickly. It's just all about the way you think and about the way you do things. So that's probably one of the easiest ones. But everything else that you truly desire is already here, because even my mentor, Bob Proctor, used to say that nothing is created, nothing is destroyed. So everything is already here, existing. You may not be living that life yet because of your awareness, because of your paradigms. So, what you are getting right now in your life, you're getting it not because that what this is what you deserve, or not because this is what you get because you're not smart enough or you don't have enough money. None of this is true. Whatever you're getting in your life right now is only because of the level of your awareness. That's it. Someone who makes 100K a year makes 100K a year not because that's what they want to make, is because this is what they are aware of how to make. A person who makes $1 million a year is because that is what they are aware of how to do it. Somebody who makes 500 million is because that is what they are aware of making it. And the best example is when you study wealthy people, they will all say the same thing. And I really want you to pay attention to it. Many people gained and lost the money over and over again for different reasons. Maybe investing in certain things that didn't work, so they've lost lots of money. My mentor, Bob Proctor, also in his journey with one investment, he lost $2 million. That was that was a very long time ago, about 40 years ago. So with one investment, he has lost $2 million as well. However, these people, they had $2 million to lose, or whatever they've lost. So even though they've lost it, they've regained it in a very short period of time, because money is the reflection of the way we think. So if somebody knew how to make that million before, they are having that awareness of how to make it again. So it's not just like I've had the money and now I don't have it and I've lost it and I will never make it, because somebody who's done it before, they already know how to do it. It makes sense, right? So that's why so many people, whatever they've lost, they can regain it straight away, because it's all about the mindset. It's not just a pure luck. Somebody didn't just won it in a lottery. Unless they did, and they've lost it. So it's obviously bad habits and bad thinking or limited thinking. That's why they've lost the money. But somebody who earned the money and lost it, they will regain it again because of the awareness they have. They are aware of how to make that amount of money. So it's the same when it comes to your dreams and desires. That home, that lifestyle, everything you desire is already here. All you need to do is just expand your awareness so you know how to get there. And this is what this book talks about. It has been proven experimentally that the subatomic world of the quantum field works regardless of time and space. So everything happens regardless of time and space. So that's why you may think that some people seem to be working with such an ease in a short period of time. So some people can make lots of money in 2, 3, 4 years. And then other people work 10, 20, 30, 40 years until retirement, and they seem like they're just making enough to live and go by. It makes no sense, right? So the only thing that different between these two type of people is the level of awareness, nothing else. So when you really look at it from that perspective, you may then see something incredible within yourself. Everything you really need to make your life successful, you already have it. You have it within yourself. But lots of paradigms, so those belief systems that you grew up with, perhaps, or you were surrounded by, and certain habits, perhaps your self-image is not there yet. And there's only one way to break through is through studies. Book like this, for example. So now, when it comes to the nature of energy and the way it works, so the basis of everything is energy, just like Einstein used to say, energy, that all there is, energy. The greatest minds of history used to say that. So energy from Greek means being in motion. So we live in ocean of motion. Just like my mentor used to say, nothing stays the same, everything moves. If you are not moving forward with your awareness, with your studies, with really the desire to grow, if you're not moving forward, if you're not doing something towards your goal, if you're not working towards your goal on a daily basis, you are actually going backwards, because nothing stays the same. Everything moves. We live in the ocean of motion. So everything is energy, which is being in motion. Matter doesn't move. So mind over matter, whatever you create in your physical world, it doesn't move, but what moves is information. And information moves, and that may change the way you think if your awareness grows. So if you keep expanding your awareness, you will start asking questions. Okay, so how do I make my life different? What can I do to change that current reality? There are certain steps to do that, which we're going to discuss later on in this book. So within the next 2 sessions, you will learn the exact steps of how to change your current reality onto the reality that you truly desire to be. But before we wrap up today's session, I want you to really understand that the key to your freedom right now is the understanding of your consciousness. Consciousness is number one. So consciousness comes first. Everything you do, it depends on your level of consciousness. Then comes energy, and then all the forms energy created. And that's everything around you, and you included. So by understanding how consciousness works, by understanding all the dimensions it affects us through, and by taking responsibility for the energy we consciously spend in order to do what we do, this is the knowledge that my mission is to share with you. And this is something that, if you have that desire to change your life, this is the knowledge that you have to have a desire to understand. So just to wrap up with another chapter, is that when we think of the word creation, we operate in a few dimensions. So everything happens simultaneously. And the 4 principles that are involved in that creation, there are 4 elements of that, or principles that are involved in that creation, is air, fire, water, and earth. And I'm sure many people have heard about it. And there's also a 5th element that's above those 4 elements, and that's ether. And all of these elements play an important role in your own little world, your own special world of which you are the center. So you are a center of your own special world. Right now, your reality, as you look around yourself, this is your own special world of which you are the center, because your mind is the center of divine operation. And that divine operation, as we've already mentioned at the beginning of the session, is the way you think and is the way you are emotionally connected to the things you think about. And obviously, you do the things based on what you think about. So now, ether, that level of ether corresponds to quantum field in physics. And then different dimensions of consciousness in man's being can be divided according to the elements we've just mentioned. So the next one is air. So your pure consciousness and alertness is on the level of air. This is where you get your inspirations, ideas. This is where all the ideas are formed. Then the element of fire is your mental activities. This is when you exchange your ideas, and perhaps you prepare for taking certain actions. So you gather that energy to prepare for certain actions. Water is the element that symbolizes multitude of possibilities, or perhaps is that specific chosen idea by yours. And this is where, on that level, you get emotionally connected with that idea. The moment when you are emotionally connected with your idea, this is where you start acting towards it. And because you start acting towards your idea, that idea comes into your reality, which is Earth, so your physical reality. And this is the process of creation in a nutshell. And everything starts from that idea, from your thought. Your thought is an idea. And we have about 60,000 thoughts every day. However, if those thoughts are just random thoughts, like in 90% of population, nothing really happens. Because usually what happens with an average person, or 90% of people, is that they have the same thoughts today as yesterday. It's just a repetition of those thoughts. And that's not really the creation. The creation starts where, through the expansion of your awareness and the understanding of your consciousness, which happens at the level of ether, this is where you then become aware of your true power, of the gift that you possess within yourself. And this is where, the more you become aware of this, the more you start entertaining that idea, and then you start creating. So you choose ideas that are in harmony with your desire. And because you are created in the picture of God, you are created with that consciousness. You are a microcosm comprised of all these dimensions of nature, as we've just spoke about. So because all these dimensions are evenly present right now, again, what you truly desire is already here. Because nothing is created, nothing is destroyed. So now, if I accept the idea that everything that I desire is already here, then I will make my mission and commitment to really understand the process of creation. And as we just mentioned, everything starts from the highest level which is my thinking, that consciousness and then my thinking. Majority people are stuck because they focus on the lowest level. They focus on working harder. I just need to work a little bit harder. I need more money. So I'm just going to work a little bit harder. That's why that never works. It never works in the long term. In the short term, yes, you may get a little bit more money. You may get a little bit more of something, but it never really gives you what you truly desire, because eventually you lead yourself onto exhaustion. Because we focus on that lowest level, working hard. Perhaps sometimes with the use of our intellect, so study hard. But these are lower levels, as we mentioned at the beginning. So what I really have to focus on is how the creation begins, and the creation begins from the highest level. And this is what we're going to continue with, the description of each level in more detail in the next sessions next week. So thank you very much for being here with us today, and I hope you enjoyed this session today. It's been great to have you, each and one of you, and thank you so much for all the comments. If you do have any questions or any further comments, please put it in the chat box. I'll spend some time after the session to read through all of them. Otherwise, I wish you a wonderful week, and I look forward to continue this incredible book with you next Monday at 7 p.m. UK time. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.